Hey everyone, and thanks again for tuning in to Articulate Thoughts. Today we're doing episode number 10, and it is Tuesday, October 25th. And right now I'm in the forest. Someone's built a shelter here. It's a pretty cool, it's very crude but sturdy type of place to chill out and hang out. And I come here sometimes um, to get away from everything and just kind of maybe listen to music and dance. And the great outdoors, being around trees and stuff, always feels really good to me. Um, but I thought it'd be an appropriate setting today because I wanted to talk about something that's a little bit deeper, I suppose, for myself. And that's and the topic I want to talk about is to reiterate why I do these video blogs. I think in the beginning I had much more of a community-based intention. I wanted to get some ideas out there and get some people involved in sharing their ideas and opinions and thoughts and kind of branch out to different things. But a few weeks in, just kind of realized that it wasn't really getting quite the feedback I had thought. Had more thoughts, more hits than I thought I would get, but no one was really responding, and it puts me in this limbo spot. And a couple weeks ago, in one of the dance classes I was taking, we did this very interesting exercise where we were split off into two different groups, and we had to go in a circle, and one person had a turn inside the middle of the circle, and you would have to do some sort of action that you didn't think you were very good at, but you had to push yourself to try. So you would try 3 times, and on the first try, the people around you would elicit a positive response. The second try, the people would elicit a negative response, and on the third try, they would elicit a neutral response. And my personal experience it was interesting because on the third try, I was able to do what I wanted to do. I basically just wanted to bend over and touch my toes. So when I first tried it and I got the positive response, I was kind of like cool, like it was encouraging. And then the second time, and I got booed. I still wasn't able to complete it. I got a little bit closer, but I got booed. And then the break and then the transition going into my third try, I was in this place of, being angry. I was like, oh, like I was kind of pissed off. I was like, oh, these guys think I can't do it. Well, I'll show them. I'll do it. So then I did it on the third time. I actually did it, and then there was just no response. And then the rest of the class had responded saying the neutral was the worst for them because they just wasn't sure what anybody was thinking, and they was kind of alone with their own thoughts and naturally kind of gravitated towards a negative place of doubt. um, but that was a very very interesting exercise overall for me, and just get some observations of what was going on for me and what's going on for other people. And when a lot of people was talking about the neutrality and how that was kind of a scary place, I resonated with that a lot. I feel like in the past, a lot of things I've done, a lot of projects, and I put myself out there, I got a very neutral response, and it was very hard for me to figure out where to go from there. And so I was taking this concept in the dance class and kind of applying it to this video blog. And there is something obviously there because I wasn't getting much of a response. I still don't get a whole lot of responses, but and that's cool. Like I'm still like it is what it is. But then I had to ask myself, why am I doing it? I think the reason behind anything is probably the most important thing to focus on, because when things start getting tough, the reason or your why will be your fuel supply. It will push you to keep on going forward and continue doing what you want to do, and it gives you something to focus on when everything else is not going well. And I was able to identify this maybe 5 or 6 weeks into doing these video blogs. And for me, I had this challenge within myself of being consistent with my efforts and just constantly pushing forward with what I start. So I always start these projects but never see them through. And one of the things that stuck out in my mind was a quote. It said, strength of character is following through on a decision long after the excitement and the heat of the moment has passed. And that was written by Cavett Robert. And this is was very important to me because like I had to think of the reasons why I had to keep on doing these video blogs. And for me, like these video blogs, it's like it's a commitment to myself. Like whether or not X, Y, Z happens, whether I get X amount of hits or I get X amount of responses, like it's just something I gotta do for myself because I told myself I would do these video blogs. And it kind of started out because I started with a commitment of showing up every Tuesday evening at the Central United Church in downtown Calgary and help volunteer set up the space for this dance community. And I just wanted to add more weight to that commitment. I just felt like I spend a lot of my time alone, which is cool. Like I'm very introverted in a lot of ways, but I like being around people a whole lot too. And I find particularly, um, I'm probably by myself more than I would like to be. Not by a whole lot, but maybe just like a little bit. But I always have these thoughts and ideas, and I always want to put them out. And like these video blogs are a very good outlet for me, whether or not like there is a response or not. It's just the fact of me putting it somewhere, and I'm willing to put it out on the internet because like people could see it. I don't know who sees it. Sometimes like some people, random people approach me like in a conversation, and they say something about the blog, and it kind of throws me out because sometimes I actually forget that these vlogs exist. It's just kind of become like a weekly habit for me, and like I become very detached from the results of it. And I think that's a very good thing for me to hold on to, or just a very strong perspective to have. I think that like there's a lot less pressure because like, there's no real outcome that I'm really shooting for. It's just an action, and it happens. And I find like since I've been into that mentality from like the fifth or sixth week into the blog, I've had these other opportunities show up in my life, and where the same attitude has to be applied. And I find and I'm enjoying a lot of different things right now because I don't have that pressure or attachment to a specific outcome. So um, yeah, that's kind of my thought for this week. And I would love to hear any kind of stories that anyone else might have of a time where they were challenged to push forward with something that they had some doubts, or they weren't motivated, but they kind of had to push themselves. And what kind of techniques or what mental message did you send to yourself to get yourself to push forward? So if you'd like to share, please do, and I would love to hear someone else's story. And thank you for your time, for tuning in and listening to another episode of Articulate Thoughts. All right, have a good week, and I'll see you next time if you choose to tune in.